Okay, it is recording now. I just want to start again by saying thanks everybody for joining. If this is your first one of these, this is the second one in our little mini series that me and Chris are doing. This is basically directly following some SOLIDWORKS certification prep that we did a couple months ago, and we still got quite a few people in our org and all other orgs that are not certified, and would love to see as many people get certified as possible. So we're going to do some solid modeling stuff. I'm going to kick us off today with a little speed modeling challenge just to get our fingers warmed up. These parts are on the simpler side. They're nothing super complex. It shouldn't take too long to do them. Let me go ahead and the idea is I'll share my screen and I'll have a print up for you guys. I'll keep it up the entire time if you want to take a screenshot. So in case every once in a while I'll flip a screen and forget, and I'll take it away. So it'd be best to take a screenshot. Go ahead and do that, and then get to modeling. Everything you need for the model is on that print. It'll have all the dimensions, all the different views, and it'll tell you what units it's in and what the material is and all that. So we'll just, everybody, when I say go, you start modeling, and the first person to put the correct weight in the chat will be the winner. And I have a virtual gift card to give away for the winner of this. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Got a little spinny wheel. We will turn the sound on so you can hear the spinning sounds, and we'll get it spin to figure out what print we're doing. We got 101. Okay, so let's hide that. Let's close this. And that should be the one. There we go. Okay, so everybody get ready, get your SOLIDWORKS open, and let's go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna do this real quick. There we go. Get that over here. And I got some elevator music to kill the silence. Oh, I got an ad on the music apparently. There we go. Okay, we got answer in the chat here from Aaron. Let's Let's take a look. 807 is what he has put in. And Aaron, that is not correct. Jethro, that is also not correct. Remember, we are asking for this in grams and just XXX grams. So if you want to, there is a +1 gram tolerance, but if you'll have SOLIDWORKS do that math for you, it'll be easier. That way we're not potentially saying you're right or wrong when you're, when it could have been rounded up or down differently. Still waiting on the correct answer though. That's still wrong, Jethro. And I thought Jethro was putting an LOL in there at first. Okay, so I just realized you put another one in there, Aaron. 797, that is correct, Aaron. 797.13 will give me the right answer. Good job. Just gonna get this music stopped here. And get my stuff up. So I already got your email there, Aaron. So congrats on that. If you will, I'll stop sharing my screen. If you'll share your screen with us and show us how you got that thing, it'd be great.
Absolutely. So let's roll this back. Start out by setting the sketch. Did a boss extrude. Did a separate one to get this sort of rounded piece.
Yeah.
Cut my edge out there. Mirrored that across. Did my fillet and
Add
my
your
slot.
fillets and add your slot. Nice.
And this is a
Good job.
reminder to always look at your material, because I was using 1020 steel.
I figured your material was wrong. I figured that's what it was.
I'm in that SolidWorks certification template
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah, and Jethro said the same thing. He forgot material as well. I was thinking that may have been what he did as well. Yeah. Awesome. Well, cool. Nice job, Aaron. Anybody have any questions about how he did that, or anybody have any other way that they did it that they're wanting to share? Feel free to if you want to. No, doesn't sound like it. I guess that's time for you there, Chris.
All right. All right. As James said, so this week's kind of going to be about like last week. The models aren't going up terribly in complexity, so we're about the same, maybe a little bit tougher. But as he stated, this was kind of help some of us out. We do a lot of sheet metal, right? So we wanted to see some solid modeling and get practice with it, and that's what we're here for. All right, the very first one up. Let me get my screen shared. It's this one right here. Relatively easy. I did mess up. I didn't see the 20 radius. Obviously, I'm goofy, but I calculated it myself and I wrote it on there, and then it's like, oh, there it is. So just ignore that. It is 1020 steel. Same template we use for the solid models.
But so the idea with this one, guys, is it's not this isn't a speed modeling thing. We're just gonna give everybody some time to model this thing and
Go over it at the end.
yeah, go over it. You know, once we an appropriate amount of time. You know, we'll feel free to throw masses in the chat once you get it. You know, if you think you got it, and then we'll kind of go over it. Once we give everybody a little bit of time to do it.
If you have any questions too about the model, you
Absolutely.
can kind of throw them in the chat too as well.
Or unmute and just ask away. You know, whichever way y'all want to do it. I can't quite see on your print the holes on that base that are
Around
circular pattern. How many is that?
8
8.
times
Okay.
10 diameter
Yep.
right there.
I can see the 10 diameter, but I couldn't tell if that was an 8 or a 6.
Yeah, it's
or...
8 times around.
It's a good point there, Aaron. That's all I had left on mine. I started after y'all. I was doing other stuff while y'all were starting. I had fillets left. I didn't even get to the fillets.
You know, we hadn't said this either, but when we do start the little more complex models, like kind of like what we're doing right now, you know, last week we didn't really do it, but the last thing I want is for somebody to be sitting there and stuck, right? So if you're stuck, ask and we'll get you going, because we want you to participate and get as far as you can. And that's ultimately what all this is for, is to help anybody that's having an issue too.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, everyone on the call will have this model done by the time we move on. You know, that's our thought, our plan. So yeah, if you have any questions, if you get stuck, you know, speak up, put it in the chat, something. I think he said it was 1020, right? Or 1060, Chris?
It's 1020 steel, and we're looking for mass.
Steel.
Is this going to be in millimeters?
Yeah, I would think so.
It is in millimeters, yes.
But those, 130 diameter, I figured that's what it was.
It could be really big.
Yeah,
There are some that have inches, but I'll let y'all know. If I don't say anything, they're in millimeters.
Am I missing it? I don't see the thickness of that wall.
I was
called
just
out.
thinking about that.
The
No,
5 is
five
might
is
be
down
the
low.
5 looks to 5 could be the thickness of the
No,
wall. It
yeah,
also looks
yeah.
like it could be distance from that hole, from the bolt hole pattern to the inside of the wall.
No,
That's
I
the
think
problem with
that
this view.
5's, yeah. I think that 5's supposed to be the thickness of the wall. Yeah. It's hard to see, but yeah, I think it's the thickness of that wall. Good call. Chris, curious. You said something about that radius 20. That's for
Mhm.
the radius of that slot, right?
Yes.
Where is the outside radius of that tab? Am I missing it? So like
Right here.
basically that's an angle.
Yeah,
The
the angle in
outs-
between them. Oh, you're missing the radius of like the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, the very outside of it. Am I
I mean,
missing
I gotta
that?
find it again too.
Or is it? I thought maybe it was offset from the slot, but I don't see that as well.
I think so. So what it's probably is, we got to remember when we're looking at prints, and this is a key thing to take away, particularly on exams and all that. A lot of times there is missing information, and if you don't see it, then a lot of times the rest of the model may drive it, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is just looking at this, I'm not seeing anything that's gonna drive that. I could just be missing it. That's
Well,
why
so
I'm
right
asking
here,
you.
look right here. You got 150 radius right here. So here's
Yeah.
this is as close as they're getting you, and they're getting you to kind of where the slot is, right? That's where your slot
Yeah, it's the
starts.
center of that.
And then you got this and the radius here. It's there. There's 160. That's for those slots
That's for
around.
those holes there. Yeah.
And this is a radius. So that's a diameter. So we're radius of 300. So I mean, diameter of 300 here, right? And that's, to me, the way I interpret it, that's where they're dropping that slot point.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And based on that, the slot dimension is kind of driving where this falls, is the way I saw it. Not that that's 100% right. It's always open for discussion.
But I mean, like even then, it's that there's no definition of how wide that
Mhm.
arm is. To me, it's definitely missing.
That's what the
dimension.
20 is. That's why I put it there. Thank you for reminding me.
So 20 is the
Yes.
offset. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
That was
I see
clearly
now.
what I
Yep.
put the 20 there for, and I tried to even do it a little later. Thank you. Sorry about
Yep.
that.
I got.
Been a while since I did
That's
that
kind of
model.
what I thought it may have been, but I wasn't sure with
That's
you
it.
saying something about, oh, I saw the 20, so I didn't know. Yep.
Let's
Okay.
see. No, you're right. And I'll confirm it. It's measured at 20 in my model. So this right here
Okay.
is 20 in my model for everybody.
Okay. So offset that
This distance right here from slot to edge is 20.
Yep. Okay. Good to know. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. we did not say this, but now is as good a time as any. If I were y'all, when I made these models, I didn't pay attention to anything in their tree that they made the model with. So I would say do not let that influence y'all, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat, hundreds of them. So
Oh, got you. Yeah.
I'm just saying that so people, kind of play to your strengths, what you're good at, but don't just take their tree and say, oh, I need to do it this way.
Okay. This was 1020 steel.
That's
Yep.
correct. You should see the color. Anytime you see the gray, well, sorry, y'all are looking at a piece of paper now, not the ball. My bad. But yeah, it's 1020 steel. Sorry.
Mm.
I will say this too before y'all get to it. The holes in the bottom flange, the ones with the tabs, the little 8x10, there's no real clear thing as to how they are located, right? We just know we have 8 of them. So as long as you take out that material, I would say don't worry about the location as much. I mean, I located mine a certain way, but I don't really think it's getting on the print. So when it comes to getting those 8x10 in a specific location,
Would have no effect on the mass anyway.
yes, that's correct. That's what I was trying to say.
Yep. Apparently I was muted. I was letting you know. I think Jethro put a mass in the chat. I guess you ain't gonna want
I'm
to say
sorry, he
whether
did,
it's
didn't
right
he?
or not.
Let's see. He is very close.
Michael, I'm sorry, bro.
Mike's in pounds. Yeah, we need to be in grams. But Jethro is very, very close. The answer don't have to be spot on as long as it's kind of within half a percentage point, kind of like they do the exams. We'll take it. 6, let's say Paul. 7, 7, 8. Not quite, but close. Who was closer? Paul's closer. No,
Yeah, I don't
I got
think
to
you're
give
gonna
him
be able
credit
to
for trying
convert
that
it.
one with a converter.
Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, I'm way off.
That's right. If everybody's kind of at a point where they're not ready to continue with their model, we can go over it. I'll just kind of let me know.
Almost there.
Okay. We'll hang on a few more minutes then.
I'm trying to finish this one.
Material used.
There's a couple ANSI 10, those two ANSI
Yeah, that's
1020
true.
options, and I just want to make sure I'm on the right ANSI 1020 option.
All
There's
right.
ANSI 1020, there's ANSI 1020 steel cold rolled,
Cold rolled, yeah.
and they have different mass densities. On the exam, they list the actual mass density
Yeah,
value.
that way, and that's the reason they do it, so you can check that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Favorites. All right. Look.
Because it does have a reasonable change on the end result.
Yeah, it's a good bit.
You talking
Which
about the
one?
density, like at the top of the mass properties, 0.01 grams per cubic millimeter?
No. If
Or
you
the
actually,
material.
if you actually
Let's
go
see,
into the
principal
material,
Hold on
ANSI
one second.
I'll
1020
post 2 screenshots.
has 7,900. ANSI 1020 still cold
Edit
rolled
material.
has 7870.
I'm just ANSI 1020.
Okay.
Okay.
Straight 1020. Let's see what the density is here. 7,900 value is mass density. Here, let me just post this out there. Hold on.
This was my answer, Chris.
Oh, is there another answer in there?
Yeah, it's mine.
You were very close too. And being that you and Paul Easter are so close, we probably are kind of where we need to be. I'll post what I had out there and then we'll go over it if everybody's ready. So this is the answer I came up with. Now, keep in mind, as we said last week, any of these are subject to be wrong. So, especially with stuff like this, where they're the best interpretation, right, of the deal, of the model. We get another screen shared. Also, too, when I told y'all too about the tree, so in their tree versus my tree, right? So they have more features. That's fine. So when I'm not modeling for design intent, I'm modeling to keep my feature tree low, right? So fewer features. If I had some kind of intent to design or whatever, I'm probably gonna have some more features or do something a different way. But the design intent's what's driving me. So here's my model, and here's how I came up with it. So the very first one is, I'm gonna try to get, let's see if I can get this over here. So here is, I went with just a revolve, just to create the top piece. Basically, I did it out to the 180. So I was just going to create my round ring first, right? With the taper and all that stuff. So the 5 for me, you may have wanted to put 5 here this way, kind of don't work out. I went with the other way because it was the way it was showed on the picture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and that's kind of like, important for certifications too. I mean, if they show a 5 this way, well, hey, that's just controlling that wall down here. We don't really know how thick it is because there wasn't a dimension given. See everything there. So I had my revolve. Let's just roll back the tree. So there's what I started with. And then I brought all my tabs. And for the tabs, nothing special. I went with that thing messing me up. Hold on. Let's see. There. So 300 on that, like we had talked about, where it's, that was the angle. Where was my 300?
Here. 150 radius.
Yeah, right here. The 150 radius. So here was my 300 where I drove it. There's your 20 where I pointed it out that was the tabs. And of course, they just converted onto it. After that, I went on to bolt creation. Come here. And basically, I'm just setting it up, but you'll probably see here. Yeah, I used a shared sketch. So sometimes I'll do that solid modeling, particularly here if I'm just getting ready to create this. So these two are going to share where I cut it out. So basically, there's just two profiles there, and you pick them. One's the inside cut, one's the outside. So that's shared, and then it's just cut through with a sketch. So they share that same sketch. And then I just put the holes in the bottom, and that was pretty much it. And I located them on 45 degrees is what looked reasonable based on eyeballing it. But here again, they didn't give us anything.
Yeah, that's basically how I did it too.
Is that pretty much how everybody did it as well?
Little different order of operations, but same concept.
How about everybody else? Anybody else got one they want to share and show?
I am noticing something on mine, Chris, that is a little weird, that I don't really know what's causing it.
I'm sorry, I got you down there on the screen.
Let's see if I can. Well, there's the share button. I don't quite know what's causing this here. My extrude is coming through on the inside.
You didn't.
But
they overlap slightly. That extrude overlaps slightly with that inner circle, so you have to do it. You have to cut out the profile.
Yeah. It's because I did the. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's because I did the extrude after I did that initial. That makes sense.
Yeah. Drag your end of tree up, James, and let's roll through it. Let's just go. There you go. Okay, so you went with the base first.
Yeah, I went base first. Did that sketch, and then see, Greg. And then I revolved. And this is I did this before that extrude is the reason it's coming up like
and then
that.
also too, you would be a little off there too because you got the 5, kind of like what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So that's what threw you just a little bit off, and you were close too at 67.78. It wasn't much more, but I don't know if that would have made the difference.
See if that changes. Okay, and then I did a multi-body sketch. I tried to just do the sketch with just the feature. There we go. And then I did a multi-body sketch. Okay. I did the outside holes, the extrude, and the inside holes all in one sketch. So that brings that, and then the holes through, and then those holes.
Did you get any change in your match properties over there?
Well, let me fix this thing too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if I can just do it the easy way. The diameter of 100. Cut through all. Okay, so now let's do this mass properties. 67, 63.
And that is lower than your original. You had 67.78.
Yeah, it went down.
How about Adam's? He's still on here. Adam, what did you get? Maybe he dropped off.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's still here.
No, Adam's here, but I'm actually driving from E-Town right now, so I'm.
Okay.
Adam's just listening in.
Hey, you're
I'm
not
listening in during my drive.
driving?
I got a 6-hour drive from E-Town back to home. So
okay, I got you. That's cool. We were just checking with you, just trying to get a second opinion. So, how about anybody else? Anybody else got something they want to walk through or go through? Areas they have problems in? Just whatever. Anybody on the call?
I have the same weight that James come up with. Yeah.
Hey, I could be wrong. We'll just leave it at that. So we'll just take you and James as we could take that weight and say I'm wrong. That would be fine. The main thing is we're getting practice and we're getting to go through and kind of critique each other's work and say, hey, well, you could have done it this way, or that. Has anybody else got a totally different way they've done it?
Other than Michael,
Yeah, I got a way different way, but I
Yeah,
don't want to share it.
that's all right. We all get there, buddy. That's the fact of it.
Y'all can't have my trade
We all got to
secrets on
start
this one.
somewhere, and we all got to go somewhere. So.
Man.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the next one then. If nobody else has got anything.
Say, I am curious what me and you may have done. Like something's got to be off for ours to be off so
and we
much
can
from each
compare them
other.
later. The only thing I did,
work.
I don't know if other people are picking that, but like for me, I'm using those templates that we take the exams with.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of thought everybody would do. I said, well, let me just use the templates because anybody taking the exams, I said, we'll just use those. So I'm literally using our template exams of 1020 and 1060 aluminum. Let me get another one for y'all here. Hold on. Everybody good with that one pretty much?
Yep. Anybody got any more questions or anything?
I know how much difference are you guys apart? I know mine's 0, so I know I'm right for sure.
Yeah, 0. We're only about.
Yeah, my weight's 0.
I'm at 67, 63.
Let's say I was almost 67, 92. So hang on.
I thought it was 67, 92.
When you're doing the test, you do have a little bit of leniency. I think it's about 5% on like the A and the B, I think. So keep that in mind. But also the maybe a good way, and I don't know if you can visually do it this way or not, is grab an assembly and dump both those parts in it. Paint one color, paint another color, so you can see where you may have some overlap.
Yep,
that would be a good idea. We're only 1349 different, so I
don't know what that percentage is off the top of my head.
I think it's half a percent. I think it's 0.5% on the answers. It's not 5%. It's a lot. So yeah. Okay. Well, let's pull up another model. Nobody's got any other questions. This one here ought to be a little fun for y'all. And I know me and Paul went around with the equations last week. Not that we're going to again, mind you. Hold on. Let me get this up here. Get all the other stuff out of the way and get a screen shared. Okay. I'm going to leave this up to y'all. If y'all want to do this one without the equations, which is what I did, right? I calculated it. There's enough information in this model, and it's not far-fetched that you won't get this on an exam or a test where, a lot of times you see these models and you don't have complete information. A lot of times that figures out in the end, and it's here for that. Either y'all can try it this way, or I'll give y'all a picture with the equations answered. What would y'all like? Maybe for time and accuracy, just give y'all the equations. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. There y'all go.
Go ahead.
And this one is 1020 steel too. The same as the last one.
I'm going to go ahead and save my model for that first one to my desktop, and me and you can compare later.
We'll compare them later because now I'm curious.
Yeah, that's me too. I'm very curious at what's.
Oh, yours was close too. You can even throw it out in the chat, that part file. If you want, we'll include it in assembly.
Yeah,
we can do that.
I'm going to mute myself, but I'm here if y'all have any questions.
that dimension D, that's pointing to that square base, right? I can't quite see where it's pointing to exactly.
It appears to be I would interpret it as pointing towards the lines between the two arms, because the square base is actually dimensioned elsewhere.
Well, square base is dimensioned one way for
Here.
20, but it's not dimensioned
So
vertically in the print.
The 35 is to the square. And one way you can kind of tell that too. So I'm sorry, the 35 is to your holes here, right? But
Yeah.
the 30 for D is 37.5.
Yeah, D
And
is pointing
D
to the
is
square.
that is your square.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
A little hard to see. You just kind of you got those tabs in your way, and you just have to kind of think around them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was. I just wanted to confirm in case anybody else was.
You're correct. How's everybody doing? Silence is golden, I guess.
It's going.
All right.
I started one way and then realized that I don't think that's the best way and started over. So
All right. Just let me know if y'all got any questions.
thank you for staying on as long as you could, Jethro. Have a good day.
Very close, Paul. Matter of fact, it's closer than last time. I'll leave it to James if he wants to call it. Hang on, I'll figure out what the difference is. Let's see. Where's Paul?
We can see what somebody else gets.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, we still got some time.
Yeah, I think I'm getting close to being done.
I know what I'll do.
I don't know what's taking so long. I'm already done.
There you go.
You already drove 6 hours and modeled it there.
No, you know, I was gonna say earlier when you was thanking somebody for joining the call earlier, you know, I was gonna say, well, you're gonna have to kick me off because I still got another 3.5 hours before I get home.
I was trying to do you a solid, Adam.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what I got.
I think I found my error, but now it's giving me some sketch problems. So.
That is what I got, but I don't think it's right.
Yeah, you're a little bit further off, James. Even Paul was a little bit on the high end. Not much though. Paul was practically right there at it. Paul is only 5.84 off.
Oh, see what I did.
Are you having an epiphany?
Yeah, I didn't cut something all the way through.
It happens to all of us, believe me.
Oh no, I need to reorder my tree is what I need to do. That's what it is.
Child relationship.
I should have done it differently to begin with. That's what I should have done.
Well, and that's really kind of what we're here for. I mean, approaching solid modeling is, just seeing kind of how does everybody approach it, right? And as these get a little harder, it kind of gets a little easier to talk about.
Okay, what about this one?
You're very close. I'm going to go ahead and put the answer out there. Is that all right with everybody?
Yeah, I think we're good. Everybody else good?
That's what I got. I got 625.55.
Interesting. So I am a little under 4 grams off.
And how did you do it?
All right. Let's see. Let me change screen shares. I'll tell you what, never mind. I'll just drag SOLIDWORKS over the other screen. Oh, agree with me. There we go. All right. So here's what I got. Once again, no real design intent here. So my tree's small. Let's see. I'd like to keep that other picture up, but y'all got it in your head now. So I see things like when I look at this. So I see a big shape first, right? Let me try to describe this best I can. So when I'm taking in the solid model, and despite all their dimensions, I'm just not even paying attention to their dimensions at this moment, right? So I kind of just come over here, and one of the reasons I put the images to the right for y'all is because that's kind of how I look at the model, and I'm going to break it down. I look at all this, and I try to shape it out. I say, okay, well, where's my first shape? Well, which is my biggest part? Right here, I'm definitely not worried about the little ears. Those go last, right? So right here's my biggest part, this shape right there. And then my next biggest factor is where I cut it here to shape it on into that. And then after that, it's only just adding those two little tabs and the little axes, right? So let's look at the sketch too. Sketch. All right. So there's basically just the basic layout of it. Should match everything y'all see on y'all's prints. Y'all see anything different? Holler. All right, so we get that, and then from there, I'm going to cut my next shape, kind of like I showed y'all in the picture, right? So let's take a look at that sketch. And then what we've done within 2 features, we've got the main body to work with. So keep in mind, what you see, all this gray was my battleship looking piece, right, so to speak. And then we're just removing. So when I do solid modeling, I kind of think, we all start with blank screens. Well, we got to have something to add, and then we start subtracting usually. So here was my subtraction to get the main shape. So like I said, that main shape came within 2 features. All right. Then I started the top plate, next hardest thing, right? I tend to get the hardest things out of the way first. I don't know why. Top plate was fairly easy. I just sketched that in because it's easy to control in the sketch. We did. I'm going to go ahead.
So how did you get that corner that's the radius connecting to the? I think that's what's got me messed up.
Right here.
Yeah.
Let's see, tangent. How did I get it? I'm trying to think. I did that. I just drew it. I got a tangent there. I usually have to look at my relationships because I would say I'm bad about using relationships, but I'm not. I'm bad about keeping dimensions down. So basically I have a tangent there and a tangent there, and it's coincident there. And then it's just being driven by this angle, right? So I'm trying to think. You got me wondering now in that picture if it gave us anything.
Curious, what is your radius isn't actually called out there. What is the radius of that?
Which one? Hang on, buddy. Trying to get there. You talking about this 45 right here? Why the radius isn't called out?
Well, no, the radius is called out down. If you look at like quadrant, you go down bottom left. Radius
Here?
of 5 times 4. Yeah.
5 times 4. Okay. Hell, I may have got that wrong then. Let's see what
That-
radius
that-
I have.
That's why I was
Because
asking.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
In all fairness, these models are pulled off the web, right? So,
Oh yeah.
so I'm a little wrong here. My radius is wrong, but because I didn't see the one that James mentioned down here on the lower left, okay, which is easy to miss one, right? I didn't see it. So what I assumed, I said, well, okay, that's fine. I said, it's tangent here. And I said, this 45 is driving my radius. And that's what I did. So there's the mistake. I didn't see that one dimension, but that's fine. I'm glad we caught that too, because stuff like that needs to get caught. So imperfect models, imperfect people, but we try. So, but you do get two looks at it this way. So if I didn't have that dimension there, how did I do it? I just used my relationships to tangent it, and then I let the 45 drive whatever radius that was. So if I change that, I'd probably make it back to where y'all are at closer to the 629. But we will continue on. Hang on one second.
Updating mine, and I'm actually up a little bit. I'm at 631.39 because I had that radius set to 4. I looked at it wrong. It was 4 instances of 5.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just updated that radius, and so it changed it just a little bit. And I still don't think I quite have it right. I don't. And we'll share my model after you get done. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just walking through the endpoint. I mean, and of course the endpoint's about as easy as drawing a circle and extruding it, right? And then just tossing it over and mirroring it. And then I used to fill it on the end here. So I kind of wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about that right there. Where was my top plate? Because I kind of do this sometimes. I'll get rid of those relations. So, last week we did the little swing arm. And when I cut my top sketch, you saw I had the radius sensor in it. Mm-hmm. I did that because it's just kind of modeling, right? There's no real intent there.
Yep.
Most of the time, I'm going to leave my radiuses at the end, or my fillets at the end of my model tree. Okay. Very seldom will you ever see me do them in a sketch. But you get stuff like this, and there you'll kind of see it. Go ahead and share your model, James. I'm kind of curious now if you get that tweaked out, because I missed that one dimension. I sure did.
Okay, so like I said, I started drawing the sketch for this top plate to begin with, and then I was like, crap, no, that ain't right. So then I just started over. So I did a little smaller portions. I did the box first, and then I did, if I can move it, I did one arm over there. So that was from this view. And then I did a top view cut to get that taper. And then I did the balls on the end there. And then I actually did a multi-body sketch where I did a top cut or a top view sketch and did that circle, and I went ahead and put my fillets in there for the same reason of there's no design intent needed on this thing. And then I mirrored everything. And then I did my top plate. And that was where I messed up with. Now that hole isn't all the way through. So I ended up having to add that at the end, but then I did holes through there and then come back and did that. But let's see, let's look at this. This one was interesting for me. What I ended up doing was I converted entities. You can see that's a construction line. Converted an entity there, and I drew this line from a tangency of this circle, and I just drug it out past that there. And then I did that 45-degree relation, and then I just did a tangent arc. So I clicked that and then clicked that line there, and then was able to go in and set the radius. And that was how I got that 5 radius. But it where it connects is a little weird. So I don't that whole thing is a little weird. That's why I'm not certain it's right, because you end up with that
How about,
there.
yeah, and I don't think that was on the model, that little extra part of it. What about Paul? What do you got, Paul? Because you were real close too.
Well, let's see. Are you looking at the right screen here? Yeah.
I am. I see 5
Okay.
features in the tree.
Right. So I kind of did a little different. I went to the profile.
Okay.
And I sketched out just the side view, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually just sketched the top half and then mirrored down. So you can see the mirror relations there. And the second sketch was the back plate. Now, one of the things I did here is I did only sketch the corner of it and then did the mirror down and over crossed when I had all of it. Now, to get that arc in there, I did draw let's see, where's my sketch? I just drew a circle out here. I already had
And
this
then
outer
added
one here.
tangent.
And then I took the edge of this circle. What's it doing here? Okay, here. And then I grabbed that corner of that part and then I made it coincident. And then I grabbed this line. I told it to be tangent. And then gave it the radius.
Gave it the radius, yeah.
Yep.
So basically what that means too, for me, where I didn't see the dimension and I chose to control it with relations. So Paul just took off the one tangent. He just showed me if I'm paying attention, hey, I need to lose the tangent over by the square, and then I'll be able to drive it with my radius more than likely. So that's good. What about after that, Paul?
Okay, so next feature was cutting through the part.
Okay.
As you see, there is a lot of relations showing up there.
There is, yes, sir.
And I just drew this triangle here as a cut. And then I drew the some lines across through here parallel with a distance. Then drew some lines through there, just started giving them dimensions and just cut things out. And then added radiuses in there. Mirrored this triangle across to this side, then mirrored it down to the bottom. Added in my the big holes going through it. Just did it as one big extrude.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished. You got a little more.
And then I had to add the pin on each end.
Okay.
And then just did a mirror for him. That was it.
That's a good job. So basically you've got, I don't know, what do you got? I got 6 items in the tree. You got 5 items in the tree. And it's just kind of how we see it different in the big block of how it's made, right?
Yep.
And that was kind of, and it gets better. Like the more models we do, the better you get at seeing it. It's just, time and seeing it, really, as far as like how to make it in fewer moves or whatever. But that's a good job. How about anybody else? Anybody have problems? Go ahead.
I agree with that, Chris. I agree with what you just said. There's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. And one thing I talk about a lot in a lot of my presentations is that I'm a firm believer that practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes habit.
Makes
and
what?
The more you do it, makes habit.
Oh, okay.
It's muscle memory. It's habit. So the more you do these, the more you work towards these different models and look at them. Like Chris said, I think it's just a win, and it helps you recall those practices and what you did to do this. Maybe will help you in the next time you do something else. So it's all muscle memory.
And keep in mind, as far as I'm concerned, the brain's a muscle too. So it's working your brain too, right? How you see it. So, but the one good thing about this series that I love is, like, before I got to Altec, solid model was pretty much all I did. And, it's tough down here to do sheet metal sometimes. So this is kind of fun for me just to do it and get away from it. Anybody got any questions or areas they might have had problems in, or something they want to go over about this one model? Anybody else? All right. James, we're getting toward the end. I think you got a little less than 15 minutes for your last speed model if they want to get it. Oh, next week, real quick. So I will hit this for you real quick. Hang on, let's see. I can get my screen back shared. I think it's this one. Yeah. So just to give you a glimpse of what's coming next week, there will be one easy one. I don't want to show you that one because that's, hang on. So there's kind of your easy one. It's really more of a sketching practice, but it's a solid model too. And then the rest of the time will be here for that thing. So that's kind of what's up next week. And I figure that one's probably will be the most challenging one we've done thus far. So there you go. But that's a preview for next week. All right, James, that's all I got, buddy.
Okay, let me
This week.
get my little part saved here so I can keep it for later. And we'll do one more speed modeling challenge if everybody is up for it. Okay. So let's spin our wheel. We got, yeah, we took that one off we did last time. $107. Okay. So I'm not even sharing my screen. I'm just spinning the wheel over here.
Just spinning the wheel away.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. It landed on 107.
2-hour swag baby, you know. It's all right.
That's funny. Okay. Well, it landed on 107, so let's get over to it and see, scoot, and go, I guess. Sorry, I'm messing with the screen over here. Trying to get the chat up so I can see it.
Have a good evening.
Take it easy. Oh no, Aaron, I'm sorry.
I was almost done too.
Is it right for me to do this? I'm the first one done. I'm gonna keep my mask to myself. How's everyone doing?
It's Struggling on that rib.
Well, we are technically over time. Y'all keep going if you're, I'll sit here and wait. I don't care. Just informing everybody. It is, Dalton. Okay, we got an answer in the chat. Let's look at this. That is very close, Kim, but that's not within tolerance. Got a plus or minus 1 gram
Anyway.
tolerance on this, and that's it's not quite within tolerance.
Is anybody else struggling with the rib feature or doing the rib or anything else that maybe, I don't know, James, if you want to demonstrate?
Well, I was trying not to, Adam, just because this is a speed modeling, and the thought was we got a gift card to give away, so that's why I was trying not to jump in if I could help it. But if everyone's having issues, we'll go ahead and jump in, and
You could just give the gift card to whoever's the closest.
yeah. I mean, so far Kim's she's really close. She's
All right, everybody throw your cash in.
yeah. yeah. Everybody go ahead and get as close as you can and throw something in the chat, and we'll get the closest to it. Take it easy, Alex. I guess we'll give another minute or two. Everyone just wrap up what you're doing and throw something in the chat, and see who's closest. Anybody else want to guess before we call it? Going once. Oh, we got Reese 375.
30 more seconds.
Yeah, so that okay. Yeah, I'll give you 30 more seconds. That is closer, Reese, but it's still not within tolerance. I didn't expect this one to trip everybody up. I guess that rib is 374.65. That is still not within tolerance. That's the closest yet, Aaron. It's the closest yet. You won the last one though, so I'm not. try to give it to someone else. Okay, I let you win last week and this week, but you won already this week. 371.5. That is the closest by far there, for sure. That actually may. So the answer I got, the answer I got is 372.99. So that's.
Well, let somebody else have it. I don't have it modeled correctly.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and show what I got here. And so know that I modeled this with you guys because I haven't modeled them before, but all of these have been vetted prior to me. I got this whole pack of prints of model challenge prints from Toby Snars, who runs the Too Tall Toby YouTube channel. So just know that I'm not going by just what I just did. But anyway, so let me share my. I'll just move my SOLIDWORKS over here. Okay, let's go ahead and pause the music too. Okay, so my mass was 372.99, which is exactly what Toby has as the answer on my answer key. So what I started with is I did a revolve. That sketch, edit sketch, dang it. Edit sketch there. Sketched everything out, did the revolve. And then I did the ribs, and this one was definitely tricky. The key was this draft here. And it was very hard to actually get it to let me add that draft. I don't really know what I ultimately did to get it, because like it automatically had like a 1 degree there, but it was like grayed out and it wouldn't let me click anything. And I honestly don't know what I did to ultimately let it, make it let me do it. But it's set at 10 degrees, even though the print says 20 degrees, because it's off of the center. When you measure it, it is indeed 20 degrees. Yeah, that may be why you're off there, Aaron. If you actually measure it, it does it comes out as 40 if you have it set to 20. But anyway, then I circular patterned that. I did a multi. I can never get Hole Wizard to work for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I did one sketch to get that those two holes, circled it around.
Even with Hole Wizard, James, if you can go in there and still use it, just place your points, and just, even if you don't know what fastener it is and you just need to cut that, you can cut it and do the custom and just put your measurements in that way.
I haven't messed with it enough to figure out where the custom button is to make it work. So
yeah, it turns on down there. It's its own little section. It's kind of white with lines. You turn it on, and it gives you 3 little diagrams, like, the depth and the outer and all that, and you can just check it, and then you can input your custom values if you don't know the specific bolt size. So
you're saying I do okay, go ahead and throw me that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then where do I see custom?
Let's see. It's in here somewhere. Hold on. I know I've used it. Just gotta find it. I think it's on down.
Custom sizing. There it was.
There you go.
Right there.
That's it. So you could, if you wanted to, instead of doing the multiple features, even if you don't know what exact bolt, ANSI, whatever, this, that, or the other.
Yeah. Well,
you
that's
can
what I
still
was
come in
saying.
and do custom.
I didn't know where this custom sizing button was. I couldn't find it on the fly, so I just gave up and went and did it the way that I know it'll work. But yeah. So, did anybody else get that rib feature to work? I don't know. I'm curious. I kind of want to, I know it's getting late. See, Aaron, I know it's getting late, but I kind of want to toy with it again and see. So if I were to just do a line here, I don't even care about the angle. Let's just go rib feature. See, like right now, it doesn't let me click it. I don't actually know what I did to make it. Did that do it? No, that doesn't let me do it.
Looks like it's active now, don't it? I think you just had it. Whatever you were right before then.
That?
Well, you had clicked something up there. Take flip material side off, maybe. I saw it go active. Click your extrusion direction. It went active because you could have typed it was black. That 1 point or 1 degree turned black on you. So you had it.
Yeah, I don't know. So I do that. Oh, you actually have to click the little draft button. That's what it is. That turns it on and off. That's what it was. I remember it now. Okay. Yep. You turn it on and then it ends up you have to do it as 10 because it drafts outward, and that gives you 20 degrees. Okay. That's what it was. So I was just sitting here clicking stuff. I couldn't remember how I did it. You have to turn it on. All right. Well, let's see. Let's look at this chat again. Paul, you said you didn't want it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, then Reese is the closest. So Reese, if you will send me a personal email. I think Altec. Yeah, but I don't think anybody else could get it. So, I mean, I guess I could just not give it to anybody if no one wants it. But I think, Paul didn't get it, but he also won 2 weeks ago. I think is partially why he's like, don't give it to me. So
Paul's a good guy.
Yeah, Paul's a good guy for sure. So yeah, that's fine. I don't. You were close. You were the closest. So go ahead and just send me a personal email. Like I said, I think the Altec email, I think it blocks the emails from this company. The email you will be looking for is from Tango Card. I'll put that in the chat. It looks like that right there. TangoCard.com is who that email will be coming from. If you'll just direct message me that email, and I'll get that put in for you, Reese. Well, anyway, we are 16 minutes over our 5 o'clock time. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Looks like we got more at the end than we did last time, so that's good, Chris.
Yep. And I think as the models progress and maybe get a little bit harder, more challenging, maybe more people hang around. I don't know if the models are too easy or if they're too hard or what. So, but either way, it's another good one. Next week should be good. So they're going to progressively
2 weeks from now.
build. Oh, I'm sorry. Next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm excited to do solid modeling. So y'all have a good evening.
Yeah, everybody have a good evening or rest of your morning, Benjamin.
Anybody got anything before we leave? Questions or anything?
Yeah, anything, any other questions or recommendations or anything y'all want to say before we head out?
Thank you very much for your time, guys. We're always learning new things down here in Australia, so appreciate the support.
So I appreciate y'all jumping in. Well, cool. I don't think that's it. I appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good evening. Bye, y'all.
Take it easy, guys.
Hey, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.